Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulih Nabiyyil Kareem. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to our continued follow-ups. Today, bi'idhnillah, we will be studying Surah Wal-Layl in the 30th juz. Please have your mushaf available, and the Arabic text will be on your screen, and I pray that you're able to follow along with your notes. Imperative that you follow along with your notes in this last section of the Quran. We will be studying from Surah Wal-Layl today, and if you can have your notes out with you, I'm sure it will help you follow letter by letter. Let's start with A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So we remember Ba Sin Mim, the Lam in Allah is going to be light, and the Ra is heavy, Ha is light, Mim we stretch for 2. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to spell out a few of the letters here, but focus only on 2 major rules today. And today we'll be focusing on the heavy to light transition, or vice versa. When you see a light letter standing next to a heavy letter, Ya and Ghain, then we're going to make the appropriate sound to identify the light Ya and the heavy Ghain. Let's start together. Waw, letters of the lips, Lam Shadda. Wal-layli, wal-layli, إِذَا يَغْشَى, يَغْشَى. You have Ya and then Ghain. يَغْشَى. وَاللَّيْلِ, وَاللَّيْلِ, إِذَا يَغْشَى. Ya, يَغْشَى. We have Waw with the Noon's Shadda. Just going to make that full nasal sound. وَالنَّهَارِ, وَالنَّهَارِ. Ra with a line on the bottom. It's going to be light. وَالنَّهَارِ, وَالنَّهَارِ. What's important here is that you realize the Noon Shadda has to make the full nasal sound in the nose. So you're going to say وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى, إِذَا تَجَلَّى. Ta, Jim, Lam Shadda. تَجَلَّى. Make sure you're not saying tajalla, la, tajalla. Open your mouth and make the A sound, the A sound. وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى. Verse number 3 has the heavy light transition going on here. وَمَا, Waw, letters of the lips. Mim, letters of the lips. Keep them wet, wet. وَمَا, وَمَا. Kha is the third part of the throat, heavy letter. Kha. Lam is light, La. Qaf is heavy behind the uvula, Qa. وَمَا, وَمَا خَلَقَ, خَلَقَ. وَمَا خَلَقَ. Now Qaf is heavy. If we take a moment here and we try to analyze this, we'll do well, inshallah. What do we need to analyze? That's the heavy Qaf transitioning into the letter Dhal. Dhal is the tip of the tongue at the edge of the top teeth. Everyone say it with me. The. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّ, خَلَقَ ذ, قَ ذ, قَذ, قَذْ ذَكَرَ. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ, ذَكَرَ, ذَكَرَ. The That is light, tip of the tongue at the edge of the top teeth. Kaf is light, but remember not to say the ka, ah. You hear the ah sound? It's an ah sound, like in cat, at. Wama, wet. وَمَا خَلَقَ قذ 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 ذكر ذكر والأنثى. Now I want to analyze this. We have a noon sukoon. What is the noon sukoon followed by? What is noon sukoon followed by? Let's take a look at this again. وَمَا خَلَقَ. We have the noon sukoon followed by the letter. What is the letter here? We have noon sukoon followed by the letter tha. So let's run it through our filter. Is it going to be an ikhfa or idhar? Is it going to be a tongue touch or a tongue not touch sound? Noon sukoon, alarm goes off. The next letter is tha. Tha is not in the throat. Alif, hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, kha. So is it part of one of the yarmaloon letters where you stick the shadda on top of it? Nope. Ya, ra, la, mim, waw, or noon? Not at all. So it's going to be tongue not touch. Everyone with me? T and T. Untha is going to be pronounced untha. Tongue not touch is going to be pronounced untha. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى. Remember the oo, remember the cool sound. So say oo, untha, untha. Tha is the tip of the tongue at the end of the top teeth, just like that. Just like that. وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ وَالْأُنثَى. Now let's look at verse number 4. Noon shadda, full nasal sound. Anytime there's a W on top of the noon, we make a full nasal sound. And that is inna, inna, inna. Seen with a line on the top. Sa, and then ayn, second part of the throat, so bite into it. Sa, sa, yankum, sa, yankum, sa, yankum. Lam, sheen, qaf. La sha, la sha, la shatta. Tip of the tongue is going to come behind the top two teeth. La shatta, ta, ta. What's wrong with ta? It's the ah sound. La shatta. Inna sa'yankum, kum, cool, cool. Inna sa'yankum la shatta, shatta, shat. Don't make a t sound, but ta with the shadda. La shatta, ta. Can you see it? Tip of the tongue touches the back two teeth. Ta. Now let's take a step back. First 4 verses together. وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَى وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا تَجَلَّى تَجَلَّى وَمَا خَلَقَ الذَّكَرَ والأنثى وما خلق الذكر والأنثى أنثى إن سعيكم لشتى إن سعيكم لشتى. Excellent. I'm praying that you're following along. Keep your notes available. Make sure you're on top of where every letter lives. Very important. Now we're going to start verse number 5. And in verse number 5, we have meme with a W on top of it, the shadda. And you know that that shadda is going to ask you to make a full nasal sound. Rule number 3 of rhythm. Take a look at your notes. فَأَمَّا مَّن. Look at this. Immediately, noon sukoon followed by the letter alif. So noon sukoon, the alarm goes off. As soon as the alarm goes off, we look at the next letter. That's your sukoon. What is the next letter? It's an alif. Is alif in the throat? Yes, it is. So you have a tongue touch sound. The tongue is going to touch. من أعطى واتقى. Let's try that again. فأما من أعطى. Alif, first part of the throat. Ain, second part of the throat. So we're going to go first part of the throat and then second. A, and then Ain sukoon. أعطى أعطى. فأما من أعطى. Open your mouth because most of us are comfortable opening it this much. Open it wider. Right now we're just practicing how to carve out that alif and the ain sound. Second part of the throat, open the mouth. Don't force any air. Just relax. Man. You hear the two sounds? Alif and then ain. So we have from the beginning of the verse, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى. Don't hear It's أعطى واتقى. Wow, wet, قاف heavy, واتقى. Verse number 5. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى واتقى. Excellent. Now I don't know if you're saying it perfectly, but if you follow this along, wow, واتقى, then you would be very close to proper recitation. All I'm going to ask you to do is, we said heavy light transition is what we're working on, and vice versa, and the sound. A lot of times you're going to hear ma, and that's not a cat sound. That's not a fatha, zabar, line on top, today sound. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى واتقى. I want you to keep that in mind as we keep reading through. I'm not making an enormous amount of effort to get the sound out. The sound comes on its own. Let's try it here. Again, heavy light transition, light to heavy in this case. Wow, wet, وَصَا, وَصَدَّقَ. Light, heavy, saw. Press your tongue to the bottom teeth, which will take the middle of your tongue, press the top. So وَصَا, like the word saw, nails, hammer, and a saw. وَصَدَّ. Now watch the transition. وَصَا, وَصَدَّ. You don't want to go وَصَدَّ, nor do you want to say وَصَدَّ. 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 Now go to your heavy letter. قَ. وَصَدَّقَ. Ba with the line on the bottom. If you notice, one of the first times we're dealing with a kasra, a zair, a line on the bottom. Bil, ba kasra, bi, lam connect. Bil husna. Hu, say the cool word, say cool. Hus. So it's going to go oo, and then the seen, tip of the tongue, bottom teeth. Seen, husna. وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى. وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى. وَصَدَّقَ صَدَّقَ. Now think about the all. The cat and the awful sound. So this is cat, awful, وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى. Fa. This is verse number 7. Fa, sin, noon, ya. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ. Ruhu. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ. Remember, when you find the kasra in this whole word, فَسَنُيَسِّي. E. Give the feel sound. E. E. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. لِلْيُسْرَى. This ra is heavy, you know, because it has a line on top. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. Lil. What could happen here, and I want you to watch this, the lil sound. Lil yusra. Lil. Don't bounce the sound. Yus. Don't bounce the seam. Yus. If the sound bounces, then you're going to be doing qalqala on a letter that doesn't need to bounce. Verse number 7. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. Now we go to verse number 8 here. In verse number 8, we have mim shadda again, full nasal sound. So we're going to press the sound and we're going to have a nasal sound just like when noon and mim have the W on top of it. It makes a full nasal sound. وَأَمَّا. Careful, you're not saying wa. It's wet. وَأَمَّا. Mim with the line on top, noon sukoon followed by the ba. So what do you see here? You automatically see the baby meme. So what do we do with the baby meme? Some of you have taken this in the class and some of you haven't reached this rule yet. It's a baby meme. The meme is going to make a vibrating sound between our lips. Man bakhila. من بخيل وأما من بخيل. It's a heavy letter with a line on the bottom. Don't say khi. بخي. Ba light. Kha heavy. Lam light. بخيل. وأما من بخيل. Was, not wasa. Was tell na. Was tell na. وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى. So we have verse number 8, Mim Shadda, rule number 3. This is rule number 4, we called it Mim Sukun followed by Ba, and rule number 5, which is baby Mim. Man bakhila. Now, you might be encouraged to keep your lips separated or to allow them to vibrate. Either way, man or man bakhila wastalna. Make sure that there's a slight vibration with the meme. Was, don't bounce it. Wastal. Now listen to tagha, tagha. You hear the bounce? Don't bounce the sound. Wastal, tel, wastal, na, tel. Now listen to tal, tal. That is light. You have to constantly be looking to say wastal, na. Verse number 9. وَكَذْ. Bring the dhal shadda. وَكَذَّبَ. وَكَذَّبَ. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى. Wet. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى. I want you to keep the mouth open. وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى. Again, verse number 10 is going to be very similar. We saw it before, so I want it to sound the same. It should be consistent as in verse number 7. Let's look at it together. فَسَنُوا فَسَنُوا فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. فَسَنُون يَا فَسَنُوا يَسِّرُهُ lil usra. Listen to don't make it a heavy sound. Usra. Ra is heavy. Usra. Don't bounce any scene with sukoon on top of it. Usra. فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. Verse number 11. Wet, wama, you, and then line third part of the throat. Wama, wet, wama, yul. You hear the line, third part of the throat, it's not going to bounce. Ni anhu, bite it, anhu, wama ni anhu, ni. Remember the noon kasra sound? Wama ni anhu, maluhu. We're going to stretch here, meme with a fatha. Meme with zabar. Ma, remember the first one? Not ma, mat, maluhu. Minimum stretch here. We'll do 2 or 3. Maluhu. Preferred here, 3. وَمَا يُغْنِي عَنْهُ مَالُهُ إِذَا تَرَدَّى. إِذَا تَرَدَّى مَالُهُ إِذَا تَرَدَّى. Ta, ra is heavy because it has something on top. Dal shadda, connect and hold to a light letter. تَرَدَّى إِذَا إِذ. Don't say is. إِذَا تَرَدَّى the tip of the tongue behind the 2 top teeth. إِذَا تَرَدَّى. We're going to make the stretch here. إِذَا تَرَدَّى وَمَا يُغْنِي عَنْهُ مَالُهُ إِذَا تَرَدَّى. I want you to make sure you're making the anhu, maluhu, ma. It's tempting because you're going to say luhu. So don't say ma. Maluhu, mat. You can use the wetter part of your lip. Basically, the part that you don't put chapstick on. Maluhu إِذَا تَرَدَّى. Noon shadda, full nasal sound. This is verse number 12. Verse number 12. We're going to add the full nasal sound. Inna alayna lal-huda. Now, as you see the ayn here, you know it's a full nasal sound. So, inna open your mouth. Open the mouth to the best of your ability. Alayna. And you hear the A sound. You hear the Canadian rule here. Alayna. It's not alay, ala, alan, ala, alana, or alayna. Give the A sound. Alayna lal-huda. Huda. Inna alayna lal-huda. Verse number 13. Wa inna. Full nasal sound again. Rule number 3 of rhythm. Wa inna lana. Minimum stretch of 2. Remember that? The first rule of stretch. Lana, la. Which one is it? It's a light letter. Lana lal. Akhira. Fatha, zabar, atre, line on the top is going to make the khi. Ra is heavy, so you're going to make a ra, ta, lal akhirata, inna. You have the noon, full nasal sound. Let's try this again from the beginning. وَإِنَّ لَنَا لَلْآخِرَةَ. We're going through this word. لَلْآخِرَةَ. Ra, ta. Listen to ra, ta. It's آخِرَةَ. Ra, ta. وَإِنَّ what? وَإِنَّ لَنَا لَلْآخِرَةَ وَالْأُولَى وَإِنَّ لَنَا لَلْآخِرَةَ وَالْأُولَى. Let's do verse number 14 together. Verse number 14, fa, light letter, letters of the lips. As you can tell, underlining tone throughout this surah, the letters of the lips. Almost every verse is starting with something light and letters of the lips. Fa, fa. Now, alif with the line on top, fa, noon sukoon. Immediately my alarm goes off. As soon as my alarm goes off, I realize, I believe there's a whole rule focused on this. Noon sukoon, what is the next letter? Next letter is dhal. Is dhal in the throat? Alif, hamza, ha, ayn, ha, ghayn, kha. No, it's not. Is it part of yarmalun? Ya, ra, lam, mim, wow, or noon? Nope, it's just a letter that's not in the throat. So tongue, not touch. T and T, let's do it together. Fa'an, and now I'm going to say fa'an, tongue not touch. I'm going to say it without touching my tongue. Fa'anzartukum. Fa'an. Now you're working on getting it. Remember, that is going to come the tip of the tongue at the edge of the top teeth. So let's work on this together. Fa'an, the. فَأَنْذَا, and there's a ra sukoon. Another rule coming up. I'll say this a few times, but figure out the ra is it going to be heavy or light. It's going to be heavy because there's a line on top. There's a fatha, a zabar on top of the ra sukoon. Dhar. فَأَنْذَرْتُكُمْ 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 تُكُمْ فَأَنْذَرْتُكُمْ نَارًا. Double accent. What are we going to do? When we see a double accent, what happens immediately? We have double accent, we have to look at the next letter. What is the next letter? It's the same rule. If you look at rule number 2 of rhythm, just pull out your notes. Rule number 2. If noon sukoon, noon with a connect, or double accent, tanween, do zabar, or the double accent, is followed by any letter that's not in the throat, then the sound is going to float. Naran is going to be pronounced. Naran, ran. The tongue does not touch T and T. So look at the T and T sound here. The T and T sound, which really didn't come out that well right there. Naran tala talazza. Let's take a backtrack here. Naran talazza. It is a light T and T sound, so I want you to pronounce the run and then tongue not touch. Naran talazza. Ta, la, va, shadda, ta, la. Second part of your tongue is going to come out to the edge of the top teeth. Ta, la, ta, la, va, ta, la, va. Let's try that one more time. Naran, ta, la, va. Verse number 14. فَأَنذَرْتُكُمْ نَارًا تَلَظَّى نَارًا تَلَظَّى A lot of rules, seems like it, but the truth is there is a great chance for you to practice Nun Sukun followed by Zal, Nun Sukun followed by a letter not in the throat, and Tanween, double accent, the double accent followed by a letter that's not in the throat. فَأَنذَرْتُكُمْ نَارًا تَلَظَّى. Please practice the dhar, see the dhal, and تَلَظَّى, dhal, dha. It's more important than pronouncing fa'an correctly or not. Excellent. Let's go to verse number 15. لا يا صاد لا يص لا يص لها إلا الأشقى. Lam stretch for 2. Ya is light, Sad is heavy. Yas laha illa al-ashqa. La yas laha illa al-ashqa. Minimum stretch here is going to be 3. We have an east to west. See this sign here? We have an east to west. It's not followed by the letter Hamza by itself. We're going to do a minimum stretch here of 3. لا يص يص يا يص لها إلا الأشقى أشقى أشقى. Foot of fatha on top here, zabar. So we have a line on the top. الذي الذي الذي. Try it again. الذي كذب كذب الذي كذب وتولى وتولى. That I want you to focus. Don't try to conquer the whole course in one shot. Pick heavy and light. Here's a great heavy and light transition. We did yals laha in verse number 15. Verse number 16. Make sure you're pronouncing dhal correctly. Oh, but I don't get tongue touch, tongue not touch. That's not important. The important part is for you to get the letters and where they live. After we have a little bit of growth in your tajweed, then you'll start to recognize ikhfa and izhar correctly. الذي كذب وتولى وتولى wata. Note. Don't take the tip of your tongue and press your gums. Touch the teeth. وتولى الذي كذب كذب وتولى كذب كذب وتولى وتولى وتولى. What's wrong with it? You tell me. وتولى. What's wrong with وتولى? It's not a heavy letter. Lam is light. Verse number 17, 16 ends وتولى. Verse number 17 وسيجنبها الأتقى وسيجن وسيجن. Yes, you got it. Rule number 3 rhythm. Hold the sound, full nasal sound. وسيجنبها الأتقى وسيجنبها الأتقى. For those of you in the advanced students, there's a little pop there. It's called humps. Not أتقى وسيجنبها الأتقى. Let's try verse number 18 بإذن الذي. There's a fatha, there's a zabar here, and you can go ahead and make that sound together. الذي الذي, just like we practiced in verse 15. الذي يؤتي, sharp sound, you remember it? On the rules of rhythm, it was the 7th or 8th, depending on which course, which version you took. Sharp sound, alif. يؤتي ماله 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 يتزكى يتزكى الذي يؤتي ماله يتزكى top and bottom teeth together يتزكى زكى. Try that one more time. يتزكى. Excellent. Za is pronounced top and bottom teeth together. Keep it clear. Not a dhal, but يتزكى. Verse number 19. وما وَتْمَا وما لأحد وما لأحد. Dal. Oh, look. Double accent. What letter is it followed by? Ain. It's in the throat. Tongue touch. Excellent. So tongue touch sound. وَمَا لِأَحَدٍ أَحَدٍ. Literally, your tongue is going to touch. A lot of people look for a complicated rule. It's not. وَمَا لِأَحَدٍ. Second part of the throat. أَحَدٍ أَحَدٍ. Nun sukun followed by, عِنْدَ. Nun sukun followed by the letter dal. Where is dal pronounced? Second part of the tongue? Nope. Tip of the tongue behind the top two teeth. Dal. That's not in the throat. That's not yarmaloon. Tongue not touch. You got it. You're getting the flow. It's going to take some time. If this is your first or second follow-up, I want you to take it slow, inshallah. عِنْدَ 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 is going to be pronounced. Get the ayn, second part of the throat. عِنْدَ. The tongue is not going to commit. عِنْدَ عِنْدَهُ عِنْدَهُ. Let's try that again. عِنْدَهُ. Mim sukun followed by nun shadda. Who's stronger? You know it. Min ni'matin. Min ni'matin. Yes, you said it. Double accent. What is it followed by? I want you to tell me this one. Is it a letter of the throat? No, it's not. Is it a letter from Yarmaloon? No, it's not. Is it a letter that's pronounced tip of the tongue behind the two top teeth? Yes, it is. So, ni'matin tujza, tongue not touch. Exactly. Tongue not touch. And those tend not to come out the best. So let's try that. Min ni'matin tujza. Tuj. Why does it sound tuj? Rule number 1. Bouncing sounds. 5 letters. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal. Tuj, 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 tuje, or tujza. 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 I'm going to take it 3 words back. Min, can you see it? Min ni'matin tujza. وَمَا لِأَحَدٍ أَحَدٍ عِنْدَهُ. Can you hear the sound? عِنْدَهُ مِنْ نِعْمَةٍ تُجْزَى. And the last verse that we have here, the last verse that we're going to recite for today, has a mud, has some stretches, the last 2 verses. Illab, bounce the ba. Ba is one of the letters that bounce. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal. Illab, 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 ti. Line on the bottom. Illab, ti. Ghain, heavy letter. Gha, gha. Stretch for a minimum of 4, east to west, followed by what letter? Yes, Hamza by itself. But brother, before there was alif with the Hamza on top of it. We tried to make a system that was easy. It's a east to west followed by Hamza. Stretch for 4, a minimum. And remember, the fingers are relative. We discussed this in class. We don't actually sit there and count them and in advanced tajweed. It becomes a sound where you can recognize, yes. But for now, it's a crutch, training wheels, if you will. إِلَّا ابْتِغَاءَ إِلَّا ابْتِغَاءَ إِلَّا ابْتِغَاءَ وَجْهِ. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, and dal. This is your jim. It has a sukoon. It's going to bounce. Rule number 1 of rhythm. wajhi, wajhi, rabbihil, rabbihil, ra heavy, ba shadda, rabbihil, hil, a'la, alif, ain, a'la, إلا ابتغاء وجه ربه الأعلى. There are a lot of exaggerated facial movements solely for the fact that I'm not there with you to tell you. You can open your mouth, you could do this. So there are going to be slightly exaggerated facial movements so you have clarity. Wajhi. I want to hear the E. إلا ابتغاء وجهي, wajh. Listen to it incorrectly. Wajhi, wajh, wajhi ربه الأعلى, ربه الأعلى, أعلى. ولا, wow, lam, سوف. Maddilayin, maddilin, the around the world. Wala sawfa, sawfa, wala sawfa. Ya is light, ra is heavy because of the line on top. Yar, 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 da, yar, da, yar. And I'm moving my lips. It's not necessary to move your lips, but you can't really see yar, da, because that's my tongue making the sound. So I'm moving my lips slightly. You don't really need to move them for ra. Yarda, wala sawfa yarda. Excellent. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless your recitation. 42 minutes, brothers and sisters. I know that this was a lengthy lesson, but if you can read this surah correctly, practice this a few times, and bi'idhnillah, it will be of great benefit to you. And inshallah, we'll speak again soon. Please look over your notes. Follow along these verses a few times. Jazakallah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.